Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back if this is not your first time here. My name is Maria. I am a Romanian knit living and knitting in Norway since May 2022. And this is my knitting journal. This is my knitting podcast. This is the place I like to come and chat about my knitting projects, finished objects if I have, plans if I have, which I always have. And yeah, take a seat, drink a tea or a coffee, knit something while I'm sharing with you my past 2 weeks in terms of knitting. Today it is Monday, April 14th, and I don't work this week. We are very close to Easter, and it feels nice to have a free day and to take it easy. Yes. Thank you so much to each and one of you who answer my post here on YouTube on the community of the channel. I wondered if I should make a new knitting episode podcast because I don't have finished objects. And I've said this before, I don't knit for the podcast. I'm knitting for me. And if you have been here before, you already know that I don't follow the traditional knitting podcast because it's not me. So if I'm doing this like me. Exactly how I feel, how I think. Yeah. So we are not in a competition to see which of us has been eating the most, right? Yes, but I have progress on lots of things, new projects on the needles, and I also want to remember on every episode maybe to not wear something that I just finished. I think it will be very interesting from time to time to wear something I've made months before or a year before, something that maybe got a lot of wear, or maybe something that didn't get so much wear, and why, because there is always this question, why? So I think this is the first time I'm wearing this sweater. This is the Olga Sweater by Petit Knit. It is something I've made not a year ago, but last year. And I have to say that this is one of those garments in my wardrobe that unfortunately they don't get as much wear as I want or I hoped. Um, a few details about it. It's size 3 in the pattern, and there is no gauge swatching as always. And I've used a yarn from Sannes Garn. So the original, if I remember correctly, I think it is recommended to be knitted with Sannes Garn Peer Gint, which is a decay but more a thick decay. Now, I didn't want to use Peer Gint for this project, and I've changed with another yarn from Sannes Garn, which is called Sandnes Garn recycled tweed, which I think it's 80% wool and 20% cashmere. It is a wonderful yarn. It is probably the most expensive from Sandnes Garn, uh, or at least one of the most expensive. And I've choose a beige and a green. Now, why this sweater does not get a lot of wear? I will stand up for you to see what I don't like about this sweater and what modification I am planning to do for this sweater so I can get more wear of this garment, which I really like. I think the color suits me, and the yarn is so soft and so light. It's pleasant, so pleasant to have this directly on my skin, which it happens right now. So let me tell you, I did not make modifications for this pattern, except I added, I think, 3 extra stripes. Now, why does this not work for me? Well, let's say that I don't have a problem with the length, but the hem is actually just 5 or 6 rows in 1 by 1 ribbing. Now, I will try to turn so just for you to see how this is looking. Can you see this, guys? Can you see this? So this is the reason I don't like this sweater. Now, this reason has 2 ramifications. Let's explain this. This is a light yarn. How should I explain this? I don't even know if it makes sense. This is a yarn that has a nice drape, but does not have weight comparing to Peer Gynt. So this is a very light yarn, and in this garment, although you can see it has drape, it's hanging very well, does not have weight. And because it's not having that weight, it feels without structure. I don't know if I'm explaining this. For me, it makes sense. So I need a little bit more heaviness on the bottom of the sweater, and I am planning to unravel the actual hem because I have left over the green, and I will go down. I think I will go down to 2.5 millimeter for the hem. So I will go down 2 full needle size. I think in the pattern it says to go down, so it's made in 4 millimeter with 4 millimeter needles. If I remember correctly, for the hem you need to go down to 3.5 maybe. I don't think 3. I think 3.5, but I want to go down to 2.5, and this way, this adding length to the hem, it will cinch a little bit, so I don't feel exposed here. As you can see my back, my skin. This is something that I don't like, and this is not looking like this because the sweater grew with wearing. I worn this a couple of times, mostly when I did not need to take my coat off. Yeah, that was the times I was wearing this sweater. Yeah, So this is something I'm planning to modify very soon because this is a lightweight sweater and I really need more of this in my wardrobe because as much as I enjoy a heavy sweater that you can feel it sometimes, especially when the weather is like today with a little bit of sun and maybe we have 10, 12, 13 degrees, it's nice to have a more light sweater on. So this is what I'm planning. Otherwise, I'm very happy with how this has turned out. Oh, and I've made another modification. I think I've changed the ratio of decreasing for the sleeves. Yeah, I think I've done that. I don't have yet this project on my Ravelry. As you might remember or not, I'm just recently made a Ravelry. So this way it will be much easier for the people to see the project, the people who are, the knitters who are already using Ravelry. So, and it's helping me not to spend time adding details in the description below of this video. So I will add this project on my Ravelry and I will do it after I'm doing this modification so I can take a different picture. And yes, this is what I am wearing today. Other than that, I want to say that so far the yarn is impeccable. I mean, yeah, it's looking very, very, very well. And I was expecting actually to peel a lot because it's very soft, but it doesn't. I mean, so far, so good. I don't mind the garment peeling. I do mind when it's peeling excessively because there is always the risk that the thread to get thinner and thinner. And for example, at elbows, there is a much higher risk of a hole. Yeah. So it's okay with peeling, and it's more okay if it's not exaggerated. Exaggerated. Extremely. Yeah. So I think that's that for this sweater. It was just a recap because I've already talked about it another 2 times, if not 3, in my previous podcast and in my everything I need in 2024. I would say in the end, and I promise it's the last thing for this sweater, I would say that another reason I don't reach this sweater that much is the fact that, again, how should I explain this? I like this sweater, how it looks with 2 stripes. But I don't think it suits me necessarily when wearing it. This stripe thing. I'm sure it's not logical what I'm saying because, yeah, maybe somebody is asking why knit she knitted this if she does not like to wear stripes. Well, we have to try it. Until we don't have that garment, we cannot say if it works or not. So yeah, but I'm hoping after doing this modification to the hem, I will reach more for this sweater. Yes, dear friends, as I've said in the beginning, I don't have a finished object. I have been knitting a lot in the past 2 weeks, not more than I usually do. But I've been knitting to several projects, and that's why I don't have finished objects. Now, I will talk about a project that it was supposed to be finished, but it's not. And it's a project that is stressing me so much. And it's only my fault. Let me show you what progress I have made on Billie cardigan. I will insert a B-roll here so you can see how it looks so far. Now, I finished the sleeves. This is how is looking the sleeve. So let's start with the yarn. The yarn I am using, and this is all the yarn I have left, but I have more than enough to finish my sweater. So this is what I have left, one full ball of 50 grams and this leftover. And technically I just need to work the bottom bands, which I will make them in double knitting. Now, why is this not project yet finished? First of all, I'm making size 3. And a part of the fact that, and I've already talked in the previous episode, a part of the fact that I've changed the neckline to double knitting and the hem into the double knitting, I've decided to change the ratio for the sleeve decreases. So let's start with the picture of the pattern, how this cardigan is looking on the designer body, which is the designer is Sari Notlund. So as you can see, the sleeves are not fitted. I mean, they are maybe on the upper arm, but next to when you need to make the cuff, not when, sorry. So toward the end, the sleeve, it is a little bit, it's looking wider, but it's, God, this is not good. So it's not wider than the upper arm. It's just because the sleeve does not have that many decreases for my size 3. It's more like a straight sleeve. And I don't know if you can tell from the picture, but that sleeve will change with wearing and it will grow. Every knitted garment, it will grow with wearing. Trust me. There is just very few exceptions when this is not happening, and usually it has to do with the yarn you are using. The more plastic or acrylic has the yarn, less chances are the garment to change. But I am working with natural fibers, so it's the nature of the fiber to grow with wearing. I knew from the beginning that I don't like the sleeve. Now, another thing that it's important to know if you didn't work this pattern again. Usually when we are making the sleeves, we have a stitch marker right in the middle here at the underarm, and usually we decrease one stitch after the beginning of row marker and one stitch before the beginning of row marker. And we are doing usually knit two together or SSK, so slip, slip, knit through the back, the two stitches together. Now, this is having this sand, sand stitch, I think it's called. I have a lack of this word. Seed stitch, sorry, seed stitch, uh, here at the underarm. So what the designer made, she actually write the instruction to decrease one stitch here and one stitch here. So on each side of the seed stitch panel, so not in the middle. I've done this like she said. I didn't change, although I could have changed to decrease it on the middle. It would have not changed the look of the sleeve necessarily. You know, it's just you would have had here a more straight line, and here it would have been this curve of the decreases. But it's looking great anyway. You know, it's this is not a problem. Now, regarding my size, 3, I was supposed to do only 3 decreases. So I was supposed to decrease 3 times. I hope I remember correctly. I don't think 4 times. No. 3 times. And in between the decreases, there were a lot of rows. So these decreases 3 times will actually not make that much difference if you want a more tapered sleeve. How do you say this? A sleeve that you want to grow smaller to the cuff, toward the cuff. So what I have done, I've made the first decrease after the number of rows she is explaining in the pattern for my size. And from the first decrease, after the first decrease, I decrease on every 10 row. And I've done in total 9 decreases. So I decrease 18 stitches instead of 6 stitches. And then when I decide I have enough length and I can work the cuff, I've made one by one, I've made a one by one ribbing row, and I decreased another stitch because I had multiple of 2 plus 1. So I needed multiple of 2 stitches. I decreased 1 stitch right in the middle after half of the stitches. And I've changed to 3mm needles for the cuff. You work the sleeve with 4.5, but for the cuff, actually I have them here. These are the needles I am using when working the double knitting cuff. These are very short. They are very uncomfortable if you have never worked with this type of needles. I got these needles um, since I was knitting for photographers so many years ago. And I've got them because they was so easy to use them for baby sleeves or baby legs to pants, or baby booties. But I have to say that it took me, I think, approximately 1 year, without exaggeration, to get used with these needles. Of course, I did not knit every day for a year. First of all, because at the beginning my fingers were hurting so bad because this long um, end, the long, so there is a long needle and half, almost half of it on the other tip of the needle. Now, the long one, I have to have it on my right, and the short one on my left. So it took me so much time to learn how to hold this without my fingers to get hurt. Yes. So, yeah, this is a side note, what I am using to work my double knitted cuffs in general. Now, if you are doing magic loop, I think you are safe to use the magic loop. I don't use the magic loop. I don't have experience with magic loop. I can, but I don't do it. Anyway, so I went to 3 millimeter needles, and I've worked um, one row. I knit the knit and slip the purl with the yarn in the front and repeat until the end of row. On the second row, I slip the knit stitch with the yarn in the back and purl the purl. So I worked these 2 rows 6 times in total, and then I made the tubular bind off. Now, what are my problems with this cardigan and why it's not finished? I discover I have so many mistakes regarding the honeycomb cable panels. I have one mistake I will show you, that I can't do anything about it, because that means to unravel all the cardigan and part of the raglan part, which I won't do it, because if I'm doing this, I'm not making this cardigan anymore. So I will try to come closer. So this is the first mess up. I don't know if you can see. It's here. You see? I lost, yeah, the pattern. And then I had a mistake here, and this morning I unraveled the sleeve up to here and work again like this. On the other sleeve, I need to unravel because I have the same problem here, and it bothers me, guys. If it didn't bother me, I would not go back. And the most important, I have a huge mistake here on the body. See this part here. Now, you know, with knitting mistakes, as always, there are mistakes and mistakes. Mistakes that we can get over it, they don't affect the look of the garment, they don't maybe affect the fit of the garment, and we can get over it. With this cardigan, I just cannot get over it. One, because it's a lighter color, and I know maybe somebody will think, but it's not that visible. It is for me because it's not one mistake. They were 4 mistakes. And that's a lot, especially for somebody with experience like me. These mistakes are happening when you are working multiple knitting patterns, all of them in cables, all of them with texture, all of them, you know, and yeah, you don't pay attention. You just want to knit, 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 and mistakes are made. Now, so there were 4 mistakes, guys. It's just something I cannot get over it. So my plan is today to unravel my other sleeve up to here and to reknit. And that's a good thing because for this cuff, I've made just 5 repeats of the one by one ribbing, one by one double knitting. And here I've made 6 repeats. And I like more, I will come closer. I like more the one with 6 repeats. This one is with 6, this one is with 5. And then, guys, believe it or not, I will need to unravel half of the body up to here. And I took my time this week to get used with the idea that I need to unravel half of the body of this cardigan. And now I'm used with the idea. My mind had just has this new setup that I need to unravel this because there is no way I will finish this like this. And because I will unravel this, I thought to change one more time the hem. So I think I will work on the body another repeat of this 8 rows main cable. And then I will change to 3 millimeter for the double knitting hem because this one is made with 3.5. And I think I will not doubling the number of stitches this time because I am still worried about this gathering of the hem. Although I know that this panel needs to be blocked, I still think the hem will pop out comparing to the rest of the body. And it's not something I want because, as I've said, this will already change as feet once I'm starting to wear it. So what I will do is, I think I will double every second stitch because I will still have 300 and something stitches comparing to 200 and a little bit that I have for the body. So yes, this is what I'm planning to do. But first, I need to fix this second sleeve to know that I finished with it. And then I will go back to the body. And as I've said, I've already prepared my brain, knitting brain, to accept the fact that he and my hands needs to collaborate to be on the same path with this pattern because yeah, there is no way to finish it like this. And one thing I know, at least for the moment, is that this is a pattern I'm not interested in repeating again. It is a wonderful pattern, But to make these sleeves, it felt like forever. And trust me, I don't have a problem with sleeves. I don't have a problem finishing the second sleeve. Uh, so sleeves for me are very, very enjoyable because I know they they are getting me one step closer to be able to finish my garment. But I swear that I struggle at least with the first sleeve because I didn't know exactly how many stitches I will decrease comparing to what the pattern was saying. And I was working a little bit, trying on, try. So I think I tried this for the first sleeve at least 20 times. I was so sick of it. I was feeling like I have no progress, and I was thinking, I don't understand. I am working so much on this sleeve. This is my third day on this sleeve, and I'm still at the elbow. I didn't pass the elbow, or yeah. So this is one of the reasons, and it's just it is a wonderful pattern, but it does not go in that category that you know makes me says I think at some point I will repeat this because that much I enjoyed this project. So I think, yeah, I mean, I like the idea of having this pattern cardigan. It is a beautiful, it is very visual, this cardigan. As I've said before, just seeing it, it's like you want to make it. Um, but yeah, does not go in my special list with someday I would like to repeat that pattern. Yes. And if you are wondering how much yarn I had in total for this, I had 7 balls of yarn. And I just need to drink a little bit of water. Yes, I hope I put the b-roll on the screen. Okay, now I will talk about something that I didn't start it and I am planning to start, but I have a video that I will put it here. So I have at least one of my dresses. It is in checks. It's um, 2 colors, a linen dress. I will put a picture. I find very hard to pair this dress with something from my wardrobe. I don't know why, but it is. And I know that part of the reason is that I don't know about fashion. I don't know about matching things. I'm not that good at matching colors, although I'm doing all my efforts. And I'm not good to inspire. I know people, they are doing boards from Pinterest. I'm not able to do this, guys. I just, my brain is not working like this. I cannot see these things. No matter how many images I'm saving and put it next to another, and it just does not inspiring me. And I thought, I need to make something for this dress because whenever I want to wear this dress, I don't know what to put on top of it. That's because I also like to wear my linen dresses just with knitted garments. And recently I started, when I go to a yarn store, I'm looking to see what samples of cardigans and sweaters they have in the shop. And if it is something that I had back in my mind, in the back of my mind to make it at some point, but not sure about how this will look on my body. And I am trying the sample. Of course, I'm asking for permission if it is okay if I'm trying the sample. Nobody said no until now, and I don't think, yeah, I don't see why they will see no. Uh, Although I wish those samples don't hang because, yeah, they lose the shape because of the hanger. But yeah, uh, I understand why they do this, why they display it like this. Okay, so on Saturday I went to a yarn store, and there is a sweater I didn't plan, but I wanted to make at some point. It's from Sunny's Garn, and it's a crocheted sweater and combined with knitting for hem cuffs and neckline. And this is, I think, Fleur cardigan. I will put it on the screen because right now I don't remember. They have another cardigan. It's not cardigan. This is a sweater. They have another cardigan with a similar name. Anyway, so I tried a sample from the store with the dress. I never know what to wear on top, and I like it so much that I convinced myself that I need to do that sweater. I didn't get the pattern. It's in a book from Sunny's Garn, because I didn't knew the rules of the store, because when you buy patterns from Sunny's Garn, you need to buy also yarn from them. Now, the difference is between here in Norway and other countries. I don't know if all other countries that they are selling Sunny's Garn or just a few. I know in other countries you actually need to buy the quantity of the pattern you want to make. It's not the case here, at least at the store where I am in the club and I have a discount for every purchase. I just need to take one ball of yarn, I don't need to buy the whole garment quantity. So my next step is to go and take the pattern, and I don't think I will buy the yarn because I have here yarn. I don't know if you can see. I will try to. It's yarn that I got from unraveling my first Alvar pullover by Sari Nordlund. And yes, I already have the yarn. So that's that. I would love to make that. I'm sure it will be a huge project. That's why I need to clear some projects from my needles in order to start that project. So I think that's it for the Billie cardigan. Yeah, as you can see, the fact that I need to go back and unravel, it's already making this project not pleasant to make, and I don't enjoy it anymore. But I know I will enjoy having the finished garments. So, checking the microphone, that's why I think it will worth all this effort and extra knitting hour, because in the end if you have been here before, you know how much I want my garments to look as well made as possible. as good in terms of fitting as possible. And if for this I need to make modification that will take me closer to my goal, I will do it because because it's something I want to look good for a long time, and good things takes time, right? Okay, now I will talk about a new project I have on my wish list, but there is no pattern for it. I have another gap in my wardrobe in terms of color. I don't have light colors. I don't have creams. I don't have a light beige or white or ivory or nothing in this area. And again, I have some dresses and skirts in my wardrobe that they will look very good with light colors on top. Now, there is a cardigan that I've tried to make it, I think 3 times so far. I never talk about it. I will put on the screen. I don't remember the name. Maybe Sana Cardigan, maybe? It's by Rebecca Clow or Creabea, I think it's her name, here on YouTube and on Instagram. It is a very beautiful cardigan. I don't understand my mind. I don't understand why I cannot make this cardigan. It's a nice cardigan. However, on my third try, I realized that there is something that don't reach to me with this cardigan. I don't know why. I don't know what, but it's just I don't feel this project. And I thought, you know what? Just because I got the pattern, that doesn't mean I need to make the garment if does not speak to me as it should. I'm glad I got a pattern because who knows, maybe one day I just woke up and say, oh my God, what was in my mind? This is what I need, you know? But it's not now that day. So I'm glad I have the pattern because it's important to support smaller designers, beginner designers, and designers in general, right? So I don't regret this. And I thought, you know, if I am so picky because I want a lace cardigan, if I am so picky, maybe I should put the effort to make my own cardigan. And I've started with this sample. And actually, I've made a lot of progress. And I unraveled. So this is looking very nice here. This is the simple motif. This is the eyelet row. This is the fisherman, half fisherman rib in between. And then again eyelet. And then I was supposed to start again this little flower lace motif. However, it's looking good here. But in my sample, big sample, this one by one, together with the eyelet, was taking over the lace motif, and I did not want that. I thought, you know what, there is too much in this motif. I have to take out because I want something simple. That's why I'm doing this effort to self-draft my cardigan, lace cardigan. So I want something simple. to be seen with this specific look of the lace, these holes that you create with the yarn overs. But I don't want too much, you know. I want something, but not too much. And I unraveled. Also, I thought, you know what? I'm just so complicating my life with this lace cardigan. I want something that I enjoy to make, something that I don't need to spend days making math, how I decrease here, how I increase here. I just want something that with flew on my needles. Yeah, short story, short story, long. How do you say? Doesn't matter. I unravel and I've started again. And this is what I have so far. So what I did is I kept the motif and I just insert 2 garter stitch in between to separate this, to add a little bit more of texture, but not something that will take over the lace motif. Yeah, I cannot show you much because I still have yarn here from when I unraveled. So this is the back. This is actually a drop shoulder. And another reason I unravel my first sample, I hope to put something here to see how it was looking, is because it was huge. And then I realized, you know what? This is not good. The number of stitches I had on my first sample were number of stitches I would have had in stockinette stitch. But when you are making lace, all these yarn overs are creating width. So it's not working to have the same number of stitches as you would work stockinette stitch with lace, because it will be huge. And it was like this. So I took out, I think, 24 stitches because I measure my shoulders. You see, this is from shoulder to shoulder. Of course, my back, it is a little bit wider than my from shoulder to shoulder. But this will block, and you see how much it will grow. Yeah. And now I'm trying to do a lace cardigan, a drop shoulder. I'm not sure if I want a round neck or if I want a V neck or if I want short sleeve, which I don't think I want. I probably make long sleeves. Should I make a balloon looking sleeve or should I make a straight sleeve, or I don't know yet. These are details I am establishing while progressing on this. Now, this is yarn that I got weeks ago. I don't remember exactly. And I will show you. This is from Isayer. I have been working with this yarn on my Olga Sweater, and I like so much the fabric they create together. So I said I need to repeat this, but of course in a different color. So this is Isayer tweed together with alpaca 1. So the tweed is color raw white, does not have a number, and alpaca 1, it's color E0. Yeah, so these two together are creating this. This is a creamy white. It's a warm one. I wouldn't say ivory because it's not, but it's a little bit more yellowy, but still not butter, you know. Yes, and I'm using 3.5 millimeter needles. Yes, I have nothing more to say about it because it's just a little panel. I'm still working on the back. I don't have that much more to make because I don't want a depth yoke as always. And again, just because I know it will grow with wearing. So every extra centimeter I need now, I will get it with wearing. So that's okay. I have two more projects to talk about. I'm back. I took a break because I talked too much. Before going to the next project, I want to show you another knit that I've made a year ago. Almost, not a year ago. No, I've made it in the summer, I think. That got so much wear, especially at the kindergarten. And it still looks fantastic. So this is a yarn combo that I can highly recommend. This is made in one strand of Tvini, which is a lace wool from Isayer, and one strand of alpaca one also from Isayer. And here it is, guys. This is absolutely wonderful. I have it here because I need to wash it. This was washed just when I finish it. It's I don't wash it because it stinks or something. No, no, no. It's just because I think after so many months, it will be nice to wash it again and depeel it. This is the Lina cardi by Stitch in Sweden, and it was a test knit I've done for her last year in a different yarn that I don't have anymore, that cardigan. It was made in Lina from Sandnes Garn, and I didn't like it how much it grew, that yarn in the garment, and I gave up on that garment. And then I said I need to make another one using a different yarn and to go down to size 3 because my first one was size 5 and it was of course bigger. And I give up to make the garter stitch rows that were separating the stockinette stitch panels. And yeah, this is a pattern I totally recommend. I did it also when I talk about it after finishing, and I still do it now. And this combo, it is absolutely wonderful, wonderful. So one strand of Tvini and one strand of alpaca one, both from Isayer. And I think I've used 4 millimeter needles. It is a light garment. It has a little bit of modification in terms of the sleeve. It has double knitted hem, but for this one I double the number of stitches, not hem, cuff, and it has a small double knitted hem, and it has a double knitting bottom band. And I wanted to show you how it holds after so much wear. You have no idea how much I worn this. Sometimes I wear this a week in a row at a kindergarten. That much wearing this got. And it's looking wonderful. It has this set in sleeves. Yeah, it's a beautiful construction with a beautiful fit. So if you are looking for more easy project in terms of texture, stockinette stitch, or to add that garter stitch stripe, I do recommend this pattern. It is wonderful, and I do recommend this combo of yarn. It's something I want to use again at some point because it's wonderful. And look how good is looking the hem with all the wearing. The hem, it's impeccable. It didn't grew. So yeah, I wanted to show you how it's looking after tons of wearing, after months of wearing this. Yes, my next project, it is my self-drafted cable sweater. You saw that I put out some videos. I know they are not the preferred ones for everybody, and I put it out for me mainly, not to get popular, if this makes sense. This is where I am. It's looking small, but it's not. I wanted a sweater for my dresses, not a sweater for my pants or jeans. One thing I noticed is that when coming to wearing jeans, I don't like to wear jeans with sweaters. I like to wear jeans with a t-shirt and a cardigan. That's how I feel okay with my body wearing pants. I don't think long sweaters advantage my body and my not straight back. That's why I've decided that the sweaters, I will make from now on, they will be mostly for my dresses. That means they will be cropped. And if I feel the need to wear jeans, I'm sure I will make more cardigans with a more normal length so I can wear them with my jeans. Yes. I'm good I have this clear now because I think you noticed on my podcast that I work more cardigans than sweaters, and this was the reason. I have a couple of sweaters in full length that I'm wearing, but I realized that this is not what I feel comfortable with. So if I will do sweaters from now on, it will be exclusively to wear them with dresses or skirts, not with pants. If I want to use pants, then I will try to pair them with a cardigan that has a more full length, not with sweaters. I'm sure it does not make sense for most of you, but it does for me. Now, let's go back to my sweater. My self-drafted. This is a stitch pattern I have from one of the many books I got many years ago because I was knitting for photographers. I was making baby outfits, and I always love to make my own patterns, let's say, my own models, my own thing. And that's why I collected a few books along the years. And I thought, you know what, maybe it's time to use those books more. And this is how this sweater came to life. The motif is a little bit modified from the book in terms of length. This is not a perfect sweater because I'm making it for me. For example, if I would have had to write this pattern in multiple sizes, I think I would have need to change this, you know. As you can see, there is not um, a symmetry, perfect symmetry in between these motifs like there is here. You see this stockinette panel in between the cable panel. And that's something that's not bothering me at all, because again, it's my sweater and it's looking already nice as it is. I didn't need all this stress doing math, because when I'm wearing this sweater, nobody will sit to count my stockinette stitch rows in between the cable panels on my shoulder, right? I mean, it's just silly. I had huge struggle with this neckline because I wanted a specific neckline for my preference. I don't stand necklines when they get like this, when they pull up on my neck. I feel I cannot breathe. I feel like somebody is, you know, grabbing my throat, and I'm not panicking, but it's like I feel like an anxiety. So after many tries of doing a double knitted neckline, which now I know where was my mistake, but it doesn't matter because, yeah, I'm happy with what I have now. I've made this one by one ribbing folded neckline, but I added short rows. So as you can see here on the front, it is smaller, and here at the back, it is bigger and gradually growing from the front to the back. And I like it very much. Now, when reaching the hem, I thought, you know what? I like the hem. I would like the hem to match the neckline. So yesterday I finished the hem. It is also a double folded hem in one by one ribbing. But I decrease one stitch on every cable panel, and this way I had with less 16 stitches than my body number of stitches. And I went down to 3 mm for the hem. I'm working the sweater in 4.5 mm needles, but for the body I wanted to go down more needle sizes, just because being a folded hem, I thought, you know what, I will wash this and block this. I don't want the hem to turn out wider than the body of the sweater. You know, I want at least the hem to be on the same width of the body. And that's what I have done. Now I picked up for the sleeves. Again, if I was supposed to do this for official reading, official knitting pattern, when it came of picking up stitches, I think I would have loved to make more symmetrical things here. For example, I would have loved to make the cable panel here in between the cable panels on the body. But as you can see, it's not like this. As you can see, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to explain. But again, it's my sweater and I am allowed to do whatever I want, right? I don't mind. I don't mind. This is not necessarily a perfection I wanted to achieve with this sweater, you know, and that's okay. I'm totally fine. So I've made this sweater with a fitted length yoke. So I don't have a deep yoke. Again, because I knew this will grow a little bit with washing. And because I don't have a deep yoke, my openings are just perfect for what I need without too much room, but at the same time, it doesn't feel uncomfortable. It doesn't feel with negative ease, you know? So this allowed me to pick up a number of stitches that I don't need to decrease for the sleeves. So what I'm doing now is just working straight the sleeve to the length that I want. Usually I like to work the sleeves 38 centimeters from the underarm before making the cuff. And then I will decrease again one stitch or maybe two in this case, I'm not sure, on every cable panel. And then I will go down to 3 millimeter needles and I will work a double folded cuff also in 1 by 1 ribbing. Yes, I finally envisioned this and I think I will be so happy with it. Now, the length before blocking this, it's somewhere here, right where my hips, in the middle of my or maybe at the beginning of my bone here, and it's for dresses, so I didn't want it longer than it already is. And I tried this on last night, but it was dark and I didn't took a picture. I don't know if I will do it now. um, yes, I just need to attach a new ball of yarn. Now, let's talk about the yarn because this is my first time using this yarn. So, this is, I will come closer, hope to get a good focus on this. So, this is knitting for olive um, heavy merino. And this is the color 92 142. It's camel. And I got 11 balls and I think I still have 5. I think I will use at least another 3 for both of the sleeves, if not almost 4. So I'm sure I will have a little bit of leftover, but that's that. I didn't know how much I will need. Now, I can find knitting for olive here in at least one store, if not 2 or 3 in Bergen, and in more stores around Norway online. Now, this is an expensive yarn here in Norway. I mean, comparing to, let's say, Sandnesgarden, it's at least double the price of a cardigan, for example, if not more. And I thought, you know what? I remember that one time I think I saw something, I don't know if on Instagram or on Knitting for Olive, one of their reels, or Knitting for Olive website. I saw somewhere that for specifically for Norway, there was no taxes. I don't know how they work with this VAT, VTA, VAT. I don't know. I don't even remember the name. But I guess it's an understanding in between Denmark and Norway. Economically, I don't know. And I thought, you know what? It's time for me to try to order this yarn. But how I got here? On one Sunday, I was out and meeting a sweet. I would love to call her friend. I hope she is calling me this way too. Her name is Alicia. Hi, Alicia. I don't know if you see this, but hi. And we met and sit and knit a little bit. And she was working a color work project, and she was using this yarn that she got here in Norway from an online store. And I was telling her, but I think you could have ordered directly from them without taxes. She said, there is taxes. And I thought, that's bad. That means that if I decide to try this yarn, I need to buy it from here. And don't get me wrong, I am always for supporting the stores, but sometimes it's just feel good to be able to get something on a more affordable price. It's not like I'm ordering my whole yarn from Knitting for Olive and not buying nothing from the stores. But yeah, I think it's a balance somehow. I'm supporting the stores, but sometimes I am allowed, okay, to find something at a good price for me, for my budget. So I went on their website and I ordered, I thought this is 50 grams and 125 meters. Yes. And I thought, you know what, if I take 10, I'm sure I have enough for my size to make something maybe a little bit cropped. But I will get 11 just to make sure. And then the yarn came. I wanted specifically this color because I don't have it in my wardrobe. And I think it's my color, one of my colors. And when the yarn has arrived, I just love it. I love it feels dry, and I love this because but it's not it's still soft. And I love the feel of this yarn. There is Sandnes Garn who has double Sunday, which at first sight I thought it's the same yarn. It's also, how do you say, muslin free? No, yeah, non-muslin, muslin, merino. The differences are that the reason I don't like double Sunday, and I don't like it, it feels like superwash. It is silky, it is slippery, it grows with washing. I don't like it. But this one has a different texture, and I love it. I really, really love it. And it's a yarn that is so good for stockinette stitch and for cabling and for lace and for texture and for everything, even color work. Now, this is not an ad. Nobody pays me to say nothing about it. But when I am content with something, I think it's fair to say exactly what I think so far about it. And this is what I am doing. I want to stay truth to my values, and speak truth. Yeah, so now regarding how much I paid, this cost me, so when you enter, I enter for the website that shows for Scandinavia, or at least this is what I remember. So the prices were already changed to Norwegian kroner. And I paid exactly what was on the side. So one ball of 50 grams were 66 kroner. I will put it on the screen how much it is in euro and dollars. And I paid 660 kroner for all 11 and no taxes. And it arrived in 2-3 days, I think. Very fast. Very fast. It was wonderful. That means that now I have the opportunity to buy yarn directly from Knitting for Olive. And there is another thing I truly love about these yarns are their palette, color palette. I think there are few yarn producer who can offer these muted, deep, gorgeous colors. And that's an yes, yes in my book for this yarn. So I will definitely go back and buy more of this heavy merino. Plus, this yarn has a very good gauge. It's 18 stitches for 4mm and half needles. And it allows you to use it for so many different projects. Yes, and this is my beloved sweater that I will so much enjoy to finish it and to wear it and to be proud of me doing this. And you know, self drafting comes with good and not that good consequences. Of course, the good consequence is feeling proud. um, it's like you having an exam in knitting. For me, being able to make a self draft pattern for my own body, it means that maybe I reach high level of experience, not the most experienced knitter here talking, but definitely I have some notions that allows me to do things for my own, myself. And the bad consequences or the negative part is that I know my brain and I know my knitting brain, and I know how my knitting brain needs to be always challenged. So I'm sure I just open a door for myself, and I know my mind won't rest from now on, because I will always think, oh, you know what? Instead of knitting that, I could do that. Instead of doing this, I could make my own. Instead of, you know, and it's just something I need to balance, because there is no way I want to give up to knit all these beautiful patterns out there, for which the designers have done a wonderful job and took time from their life to make sure we have variety, to choose. And I just need to balance that. It's okay if from time to time, if I have an idea and I want to make it, it's okay to make it, but I hope this to not take over the beauty of making so many different and beautiful patterns that are out there. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. So yes, this is my progress so far, and I will make another video to end this playlist of making a self-draft cable sweater that I already have here on YouTube. Yes, it's coming soon. Yeah. Okay, now I will talk about my last project that got some attention since my last episode 2 weeks ago, and that is the cable cardigan I am making using one of Thea Coleman or Baby Cocktails. It's her website, a knitting pattern. So I am making the milk stout. I still don't know how you pronounce it. Cardigan by Thea Coleman. This is a bottom-up construction. You start with the sleeves and then with the body, and then you join sleeves with the body. But more I don't know how to tell you because I didn't read further in the pattern. What was nice is that I put this picture on my Instagram showing the new project I am working, and she commented because she saw that I specified that I didn't gauge swatch, and she recommended me that if I didn't gauge swatch to work smaller the saddle for this cardigan. I didn't even knew it has a saddle shoulder because, as I've said, I didn't read further in the pattern. But her comment just showed me how much she loves her work and her desire of people who are choosing her pattern to enjoy them and to be happy with the result. Because I'm sure I'm not the only knitter who mentioned her when posting about a project working from her. But the fact that she takes the time to leave you a suggestion, this is telling me so much about this designer. Yes, so if you have never checked her, she has plenty of patterns to choose from. And this will definitely not be my last one. Now, I'm still on the first sleeve. I actually have just 2 or 3 rows to finish the sleeve. I am definitely not on the same row gauge. I need less rows than she made for the sleeves. And that's why my last 2 increases for the sleeves are happening on every third row. Normally, I should have more rows in between. Hi, baby. Woke up? Yeah. I just need to take this off. Okay. Hello. Hi. Hi. Yes. So I'm making this. I'm making the last 2 decreases. Not decreases. Sorry, my dog got distracted me. Yeah, I know. I'm making the last 2 increases after every third row. Normally, you need to have a little bit more rows, a different number in between the increases, but that's okay. And she has 2 versions of the sleeves. One, it has a number of centimeters, and one has more. And I end up with the one that has more because you can. My dog just moved the camera. I hope it's okay. I need to check out. Yeah, sorry for doing this. Um, Mine it's the longest one because of my row gauge, and because it says that if you want to fold this. Now, I won't mind to fold it. I won't mind to have it normal. And after I'm finishing this and washing, just in case that I feel the sleeve is too long and I don't like how it's looking folded, that's so easy to cut this and to do an I-cord bind off. And that's it. So no stress about it. Now, this is an intense project in terms of texture. First of all, if you don't like one by one ribbing, I don't know if this is your project. For me, working so much texture in the last few months, one by one ribbing become mindless, become just a stockinette stitch, relaxing to do it. So I don't feel overwhelmed when working this. Now, I've started last week the body, and I've made quite a lot of progress in just, I think, 3 days, just working a little bit in the mornings, a few rows in the mornings. And this is where I am. So this is the right front up to here. And then we have the back. And then we have the left front. And it's, oh, I love it. So it's engaging. It's not something you can, it's not a chart you can memorize, at least not the whole chart. So you need to pay attention, but it's not a complicated one because you only have 4 panels of this intricate cable. And it's so nice to make it. I just love it, and I think that this will block so wonderful. Now I know for sure I will make mine a little bit shorter. I think the pattern recommends like 30 and something centimeters, but I think I would love to make it in between 26, 28, so under 30, but not that much under. I just need to measure another cardigan I have that I think it's the right length for me. But I don't have that much on the body. Now I need to start the second sleeve because I thought, you know what? The sleeve, I make it so easy. It's so easy to make. And I will love in between making the sleeve to have also work the body up to underarm, up to the point that I need to put everything on the same needle, sleeves and the body of the cardigan. So this is what I'm doing. This will be heavy cardigan. I can feel it already. It is made in one thread of Peer Gynt by Sandnes Garn and one thread of um, alpaca feuilletre, also from Sandnes Garn. And the Peer Gynt, it is almond as a color. It's color 2511. And this alpaca lace, it is color 2321. Yes, I'm using these two together. And yeah, it's, oh, I love it. It's so engaging and so different of what I have made so far. And I don't know, I just discovered that with every intricate project, these projects that features lace or cables and ripping, and it's always so enjoyable to see how this is growing and what interesting texture will offer. So for me, this year is definitely the year I'm knitting all the cables I can because, yeah, I think my style is changing and my preferences are changing. And as I've said before, I know my knitting brain and I know that stockinette stitch is not something that makes me feel accomplished as a knitter. My dog has chosen the wrong spot to sit on the floor and he's keep moving the camera, so I'm sorry. um, yes, so I'm hoping to make more progress on this, at least on the body, and to start the other sleeve very very soon because I just love this project, I really really I love all my projects. What can I say? Sometimes it happens like with the Billie cardigan that becomes not that loved, but still wanted. But yeah, I think that's okay. Yes, I can believe the Easter is right off the corner. This week for me will be about relaxing, hoping to sleep more because I have huge problems with the sleep. Not from now, it's been years, but it's getting again worse. It was better, but now it's worse again. Yeah, I hope to knit on my projects. I also need to clean all the house, but that's a process. And my garden is calling me because I did not do anything yet outside. But I don't have a huge garden. I have a small little place. And I hope to meet my another knitting friend this week. It's been a while since I saw my signet, and it's time for us to join and yeah, talk and knit together and have a coffee. My son is having Easter holiday from school, and yeah, it's so nice. The sun is shining and it gives you such a beautiful feeling, although it's crazy windy today, but it still feels wonderful. And I'm so happy with all the projects I have on my needles. And I still have two projects that they didn't get attention in months, and that's something I need to change soon. I hope it was an enjoyable moment that you had with me. I really hope. And if you have a question or maybe something that you didn't understood and you want to know, please let me know in the comments. I'm also always grateful when I see a comment. You don't want to know how much joy I feel when you are interacting with me in the comments. So please keep doing this if you have time and if you feel you need to do this. Thank you so much for all the suggestions you gave me. And it will be a little bit of break until the next episode, at least 2 weeks. So it will be the Easter in between. I'm wishing you happy Easter. I hope you will have a wonderful one with your family, or if you are alone, please make it wonderful for you. It doesn't matter if you are alone or not, it can be wonderful. And I hope you have wonderful projects on your needles, and I hope you enjoy them. And don't be afraid to modify them if you feel they need to. That's perfectly fine. And I hope you stay safe and healthy. And I will see you next time with more projects on my more progress on my projects. Happy Easter, everyone. Bye bye.